Also making news tonight, Ukraine is in a desperate fight to keep Russia from capturing the capital, Kyiv, undergoing another night of intense shelling. Russian airstrikes have targeted a gas pipeline in the country's east and an oil terminal southwest of the capital, triggering warnings of an environmental emergency. A radioactive waste disposal site has also been hit, but there's no evidence at this point of a leak. Ukrainian forces have so far managed to repel the Russian assault on Kyiv.
They're fighting for their freedom, they're fighting for the future of their kids. The Ukrainians are determined to stand for every piece of their land.
There are, though, concerns Putin is planning to use thermobaric weapons, which, when activated, set the air alight.
It can actually affect your lungs and can actually kill people in that way because of the pressures that are exerted on the human body.
More than 120,000 refugees have already fled the country with long queues at border crossings, but others are defiant and staying put.
It's my city, it's my hometown, it's my homeland, it's my country, and I'm not the one who should leave. The Russians are the one who should leave.
Well, Bryce Wilson is an Aussie photojournalist in Ukraine and joins us now. Bryce, it's 9:30 in the morning there now. Can you tell us what you've seen since you've been awake?
Well, I mean, some of that footage is quite powerful because I'm aware that just over the last couple of days, rockets have been used to target civilian buildings. A hospital was hit overnight. I do know that there was incredibly heavy shelling in Kyiv. Right now, I'm actually in the far west of Ukraine. I came here to evacuate one of my Australian mates who I've been working with, and also to consider my options. And on the way here, we saw tens of thousands of people heading to the western border. It was just chaos on the roads, car accidents. We saw at least one guy who was dead. It's the last couple of days have been incredibly catastrophic and surreal.
Bryce, it's obviously the only things we see here are the pictures that we see on the news. From your sense, does it feel like this attack is overwhelming, or is it still just in isolated pockets?
Well, I mean, assessing the map of the Russian Federation's military progress in Ukraine, they are very much contained. There's a northern incursion from the Belarus border. The situation in Kyiv is very bad, where there is essentially a siege, but the armed forces of Ukraine have really succeeded in containing this invasion to very specific points. So obviously the front line and the battle can change, especially when the Russian Federation is using paratroopers and things like this. But it really does seem right now that the defenders are holding them back.
A lot of people have been fleeing, but also there's a lot of Ukrainians staying. How much of a fight have you seen people putting up?
Well, one of my very close friends, for example, went to the territorial defence and took a rifle, and he's out there fighting on the streets. I can see in this footage now, this is Ukrainian civilians standing in front of tanks, preventing the Russian military from moving further into Ukrainian territory. The whole situation, people, I think, are being incredibly brave, but there have obviously been losses, military and civilian, and I hope people understand that this is not a game. Two of my Danish colleagues were actually shot by unknown gunmen at the Russian border only yesterday. They are fine. They're in hospital, but even media are being targeted at the moment too.
Bryce, I know when we spoke to you at the end of last week, you were really in the process of making your mind up about whether to stay, whether to try and flee with so many hundreds of thousands of others. I've got to say, you seem pretty tired, exhausted, which is understandable right now. What sort of toll is it taking for you personally, being swept up in all of this?
Well, quite a lot, to be honest. Even this morning, I've had some stuff happen in my personal life, which has probably been as a result of this work. I'm worried for my friends emotionally. I'm pretty burned out professionally as well, even doing appearances like this. While I appreciate the opportunity to report, it's quite demanding of you. It's hard to put this news out there. I am in Lviv now, but even the frustrating thing is I know just even being in Lviv doesn't mean I can leave. There's up to 70 or 80 hour waits at the border. It's still very cold. Even crossing to leave for safety is an incredibly difficult and dangerous proposition at this point.
All right, Bryce, well, we really appreciate you joining us. Please stay safe.
Cheers. Thank you for the opportunity to chat with you.